And good evening, everyone. I'm putting together an impromptu live here to kind of cover what's going on in the House of Representatives. I'll do a bit of a restream from the House of Representatives and kind of talk about what's going on. But there's a lot of people in my circle that have been talking about how they don't understand, or there's been some mention about how they don't understand why this is happening. And this is probably the most democratic thing I have seen come out of our house in at least 6 years. So it may be frustrating not having a speaker elected, but I personally have my issues with McCarthy over the last few months. I do not like the fact that he has received monies from FTX and put that towards Republican elections. FTX is Sam Bankman-Fried, and and he has built $10 billion out of what we have sent to the Ukraine, and he has socked $40 million. Basically, ran FTX crypto. Him and his girlfriend. If you haven't been keeping up on that, and what he wound up doing is taking and making a deal. I call it crypto laundromat deal with the Ukraine, putting $40 million back into the elections for the Democrats, and then giving millions of dollars to Democrats and Republicans alike. I don't like that. McCarthy took some of that money, and so did other Republicans as well. I don't like the fact that when the Ukrainian leader comes to the United States, they fly that flag, the Ukrainian flag, in our people's house. And the man wanting to be Speaker of the House took his lapel pin U.S. flag off and put a Ukraine pin on. This is not what we want. This is not what we need in the United States of America. And this is why I've been fighting. Over the last year now, I have been out there. I've been on the Hill. I have spoke um, to senators and to congressmen alike. This is the kind of swamp ratty thing that we should all be upset about. We should all be, quite honestly, very ticked. This is the kind of thing that it's the same old thing every day. Just let the good old boys take care of it. We can't afford that anymore. We need change in our House of Representatives, and this is the democratic way of doing it. Democracy in action in our constitutional republic. A lot of people are saying this is an embarrassment for the Republican Party. I'm afraid it's not an embarrassment. This is what should be happening. We have not had a clean 435 person debate on the House floor in 6 years. In 6 years. It is time for them to do their job. And the way that they do that is through constructive conversation and debate. That's what I'm going to pull into. I'm looking right now. It does appear that there is a vote going on the floor to adjourn for the night. I was going to see if they were going to do a vote, but apparently, I'll flip over there and show you what I'm looking at. It does look to me as though there's been a motion to adjourn and that the yays currently have 181 votes to the 160. I'm sorry, the yays have 161 to nays 181. So it does appear that we are going to have ballot number 4 today with respect to a speaker vote. So we're waiting for that to kind of move forward, and we'll bring that forward to you. Um, This is abnormal from what I would normally do, obviously, but it's kind of along the same lines. We're, the gray wolf walk, and what I've been doing for a year is to wake people up and have them join a freedom movement. We have had our Constitution has been stepped on day in, day out, hour by hour. And it is time for us Americans to stand up and say we've had enough. We have a Republican majority in the House, and we will not stand to a status quo. Personally, I do not believe that Kevin McCarthy should be Speaker. We can agree to disagree. That's what's great about this country. That's what's great about our First Amendment. But I have my reasons to not trust Kevin McCarthy, even though Donald Trump has been backing him and Marjorie Taylor Greene is backing him. These are individuals that I would normally listen to. Not this time. I disagree. I disagree and say that McCarthy needs to back down. This could go on for quite some time. We can go back to 1855, 1856 time frame, the Congress, 35th Congress, I believe it was. And the 35th Congress did the same thing. They had 2 months of doing just this. Ultimately, Banks became Speaker of the House at the end of the day, at the end of the 2 months. And this was after 21 individuals had been running to take that position. So we have got too many things that are just going haywire in this country and around the world, quite honestly. And we're seeing evidence coming out against the jabs, and vaccine injuries. We're seeing athletes drop like flies around the world. And we are not seeing what should be happening. We should be seeing the FDA say, no, no more, no more, no more, stop. After all, that is an emergency use authorization that they're using to put the jab out. I've been saying this since day one. The state of emergency needs to be rescinded. We have no way of doing that until we get a new Congress in and we run a joint resolution again on using Section 202 of 50 USC 1622 to terminate the state of emergency that is giving these people the ability to run over us. And trust me, they will run over us continually. They are going to continue to bring back mask mandates. We're already seeing this happening. They're trying to put our kids back in masks at school. They're trying to say that you're going to take the jab. You're going to have all of this stuff. We can't have this. We can't have this, not in the United States of America, and as far as I'm concerned, nowhere in the world. So this is an important day. This is a very important day, and this is a very important process, and we need to be patient. We need to stand our ground, and we need to call our representatives, our representative elects, and let them know we do not want Kevin McCarthy. If that's your case, if that's what you feel, we want someone else. Now, when it comes to Speaker of the House, the Speaker of the House does not have to be an active member of Congress. I don't know if you know that or not. Anyone that is a U.S. citizen can be nominated and run as Speaker of the House. So they do not have to be a sitting member of Congress. But they are third in line to control the United States should something happen to the executive branch. So we need to be very careful as to who we nominate for that seat. Now, today we saw Byron Donalds being nominated from Florida. We saw that he took 20 in 3 ballots. He took 20 of the votes. They're being called by some terrorists, these 20 people. How dare they? This is our constitutional process. And just because 20 individuals are standing up for what they believe in, which I am standing with those 20 people, does not make them terrorists. So Crenshaw of Texas, I would have some good words for you because that's the man who said it. So this is a democratic process. Be patient. I want to bring your attention while they're still gathering over there. I want to bring your attention back to a docket that's at the Supreme Court. Now, I brought this up back on November 16th, I think is the first time that I brought this up. And I've been saying to everybody, you need to watch this docket. And yes, you do need to watch this docket. This is the Brunson brothers petition on the Supreme Court, docket number 22-380, that is due to be in conference day after tomorrow. Friday, January 6th, this will go into conference. As you can see here, we've got a few more amicus briefs that have been filed from New California. These are just people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. They're, in the case of New California, they're trying to say, hey, we side with the Brunson brothers. By the way, go check out New California. That's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to divvy up the state of California. And again, so these three down here at the bottom are amicus briefs and supplemental amicus briefs to say that they agree with what's happening and they're jumping on board. It's a pile on, basically. But I'm interested in this guy right here, which is the distribution for conference on 1/6. And now I'm going to talk a little bit, if you don't mind, about this case, this docket. This docket, 22-380, in front of the Supreme Court, is not about fraud. It's not about saying that the election was stolen. None of that. What this brief is, what this petition is, which is a petition of the certiorari, this petition says that there was more than 100 individuals in Congress, which is equivalent to officers of the court, who said that there was something wrong and they wanted an investigation into the allegations of fraud that had and malfeasance that had occurred in the 2020 election. They were not listened to, even though there was plenty of precedents that went back to 1822 and so on, 1877, I should say, that gave a 10-day pause. And there was 10-day pause. There was a 10-day pause that was definitely in order here, but they refused to allow those 100 individuals of Congress to be heard. And so the claim is that they broke their oath. 388 members of Congress, actually 385 members of Congress, and 3 members of the executive branch, including the resident, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and former Vice President Mike Pence. So what would happen if 22-380 were to be, which is going into conference on Friday, the 6th, taken seriously from the Supreme Court? Well, first and foremost, it will only take 4 justices to move this to a hearing and onto a vote for passage, saying that 388 individuals did indeed break their oath of office. Well, the remedy is also within here, and the remedy is that these 388 individuals basically lose their political license. They will not be able to run for office effective immediately, even for dog catcher. So this is a very serious document that is going before the Supreme Court here this coming Friday. And I would encourage you all to keep a very close eye on this 22-380 this Friday at the Supreme Court. Now, there is another docket that is also at the Supreme Court that I'm looking at. And I'll be honest, in my opinion, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. It is 22-414. 22-414 is a petition from Timothy Bonner versus Lee Chapman, excuse me. And what this petition is, it's saying, does Pennsylvania's Act 77, which was passaged in 2019, I believe October, their no excuse mail-in voting law, does it violate Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution? Well, being a constitutionalist, I say no. Why do I say no? Because the Constitution, in fact, what they referred to under Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution, it says that the times, the places, the manner, and the manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. But the Congress may at any time, by law, make or alter such regulations except as to the place of choosing senators. Now, this also has to do with the fact that if you're going to have an election for senators and representatives, then you would also hold the same thing for the president and vice president. Basically, it's saying that the federal elections, okay? So this is where I have said when I was on the walk, and I say now to you that in order to make any change to any voter law, it must be decided upon by the state legislature, not the state secretary of state, not the governors, not the state's Supreme Court, but the legislature. Anything else is an unconstitutional act. We did in 2020, in fact, see no less than 5 states that breached this article, but no one's doing anything about it. But in the case of 22-414, they're trying to say, did Act 77 break Article 1, Section 4 by allowing mail-in voting from anywhere in the world? That's their claim. Well, in Article 1, Section 4 doesn't say anything about location. If an individual is registered to vote in a county registrar's office, and that county, or that state, I should say, has a legislative body, which Act 77 did in fact go through the Pennsylvania legislation. And because it went through Pennsylvania legislation and was voted upon, yeas and nays, in the Pennsylvania legislation, I don't see that this one holds any water. They're not going to have any. I think that this is being heard on Friday as well. So I think this is going to go away. So 2 things to watch, plus what's going on on the floor of the House right now, which I have been shifted to another screen on, and I'm looking to see if there's if there's something else that has come forward. They should be going because there was, let me take a look here. All right. So I am getting word that they did adjourn until tomorrow. That's why my screen has gone blank. So they adjourned until tomorrow. So this is going to be very interesting to watch this as to why um uh noon Thursday. So yeah, tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Keep an eye on this. Keep a very close eye on this. Do your research on McCarthy. And I would say call your representative elects and let them know how you feel. Let them know how your confidence is, because I have heard today individuals standing out there for McCarthy saying that there is an abundance of individuals saying that they want McCarthy, that we want McCarthy in there. I don't think that that is a large portion of the folks that I know making America great crowd, if you will. I don't think that he's the best option. We need change. We need to get this swamp broken up. And this is how we start. When we regroup this walk for the Gray Wolf Walk here in March, middle to end of March, this is the kind of stuff that we're trying to get people to come forward about. We're trying to get people to come forward, not only to end the state of emergency, but we need election reform. We need recognition of individuals who have been injured by the vaccines. We need to bring it to the front surface that our American liberties are dwindling, and we're not going to allow this to happen. So when we get back out there, we need to make it look just like the Brazilians did with their election frauds. They're not standing down there, and we shouldn't here. It is astonishing to me how Americans just are not hurting enough to get up and do something about it. There's all kinds of memes. There's all kinds of people on social media saying, oh, let's do something. But there's nobody that's been doing even what I have been doing and trying to get out there and get people to get together. It's way past time. And we need to let them know. And I think that it's a good thing to start letting them know tomorrow morning that you don't want to see McCarthy as Speaker of the House. If you believe, as I do, that we need to break this little party up, the good old boy network up, then we start with a Speaker of the House that is not part of the good old boy network. Now, Donalds is one of those individuals. True, he's a rookie when it comes to being in the House. He's only been there since January of 21. But we have to start somewhere. Starting with fresh blood in the House of Representatives, that's where we start this. So people want to see change in the United States. They just don't know how to get it. You get it through processes like what we are seeing on the House floor over the last 2 days. You see it by actually having amendments to the floor. You see it by, there's not been an amendment on the floor of the House since 2016 that had debate. Not one. In Nancy Pelosi's House of Representatives, there was not a single debate on the floor from 2016 forward. Paul Ryan's, and then for 2 years of his tenure as Speaker, and then on to the 4 years of Nancy Pelosi, our House of Representatives has been broken. And this is why it's so important for us to break the mold and not put a known, untrusted individual who is wishy-washy, left, right. 46% of Kevin McCarthy's votes over the last 18 months went to the Democrats. 46%. So it is time for us to break this mold. Call your reps in the morning and let them know no to McCarthy. No to McCarthy. It says something strong when you've got Maxine Waters going out and telling reporters to suck it up. Just suck it up and support Kevin McCarthy. Maxine Waters said that today to a reporter. When you've got Maxine Waters telling you to accept McCarthy, red flags, ding, 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 red flag. It's just more of the same thing. Another Nancy Pelosi without the balls. That's really what it comes down to. So you all need to keep an eye on that. I'd like to have you go out to the website, to the Walk website, take a look around. We will be doing a little bit of updating on the website. Sorry that we haven't been home. I do have a surgery scheduled for my shoulder. That is going to be none too soon. None too soon for this guy. I wish I could have had it done last month, but I am working through the socialized medicine process known as the VA. And after that, we're back at it. But until then, I have to be here. I have to be ready and get the people to know what's happening. So share, like, subscribe, and by all means, turn on that notification bell. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube, CloudHub, and Rumble. All of those links are in the website, graywolfwalk.com. That is gray with an E. We're going on a fundraising campaign as well. The idea behind what we will be looking to do come March is not just a walk across the United States. In fact, it'll be far from a step-by-step walk across the United States. I think it's going to be more along the lines of getting out to the areas like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and working our way zigzag back and forth across this country to grow a crowd like you see in Brazil. They're doing it in other countries. We're not doing it in the United States. Why are we not doing this in the United States? So I'm looking to get those people. I'm looking to get those people up and about and realize gas prices are only going to continue to go up. Food becoming scarce. Fuel for trucks being rationed. DEF fluid for trucks being rationed. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So we've got to get our friends, our family, and our acquaintances, tap them on the shoulder and say, are you okay with this? Are you okay with 200 plus members of the executive branch and in the White House that are all there because they check the boxes? They're not qualified to be where they are. They check the boxes. The color of their skin box, how they identify sexually box, every box except the right box. We need to stop that. Are you okay with the fact that they've got drag queens story hour in front of the children? Are you okay that they are advocating to put puberty blockers in your child without your knowledge? Because your child, a boy, may think or play to be a girl. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. So tap your friends, your family, and your acquaintances on the shoulder and let them know. Come March, I want to see millions of people across this country standing up for what is right. We don't need a convoy of metal and rubber and plastic. We need a caravan of feet, legs, bodies. That's what we need. That's what we need. So let's get that done. What are we looking for? We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for people that can do PR work. We're looking for people that can do fundraising. We're looking for people that can get with me and get this road on the show, as they like to say. Got a small admin team that's been doing a wonderful job, but they cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. So put out the call for help. Let's get it done. Now, here in the next week or so, I think I'm going to be doing a panel with Dr. Lock 'em All Up, as we call him, Dr. Paul Alexander. I did get a confirmation from him that we're going to be doing a panel. We just don't have the date yet. Looking to get a panel with Dr. Pierre Corey as well. And maybe from there we can start to tap some more people on the shoulder and grow this movement. So I'm going to say goodnight, and tomorrow we'll see if we can't put together some of the ideas of what's happening. But rest assured that what is happening right now in the House of Representatives is a good thing. All right, let me take a look here. Okay, I'm not sure what the number is for your House representatives, for your representatives. I understand that there is something. Let me see if I can locate it online here real quick. There we go. So I'm going to post this up real quick for you folks. Looks like we might already have it, but I'll post it up again. You can find your representative's phone number at this link. And I'll also put this link out there. One of these links will get you your representative's phone number. All right. So let's get this done. Let's get the process going. We need to end the state of emergency, but first things first. Keep your eyes on Friday. Docket 22-380. Keep your eyes on the House of Representatives. Call your reps and let your reps know that you do not want Kevin McCarthy, that he has sold out. He has sold us out too many times to be our Speaker of the House. We do not want him as our Speaker. Call your reps in the morning and let them know that. Call your friends, your family, your acquaintances. Tell them to do the same. You tell 10 people who tell 10 people and so on, and let's let them know who they work for. They work for you. They work for me. They don't work for George Soros or Sam Bankman-Fried or Zelensky, Vladimir Zelensky. They don't work for them. They work for us. So call them and let them know that that is exactly what you want to see. Is you do not want to see Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House. Right now, I'll be honest with you, the best bet we've got going, I'd love to see Jim Jordan, but he will not take it. Byron Donalds is a good choice right now as I see it. Sorry, President Trump, but that's the way it is. So with that, I'm going to say until the next time, love all of you. Go to my website, donate if you can, and let's get this ball rolling. God bless you, and God bless the United States.